never made it down the aisle, but I have been engaged in the past. How many engagements? I would say 2.5. Let's start with the 0.5 since that was the first one. I was involved with a man who loved me. He was good looking, he was tall, he was charismatic, gregarious. Everybody loved him. My mom loved him, my sister loved him, my niece loved him, my friends loved him. Everybody loved him. But there was something inside of me that just said, this is not perfect. It's the furthest thing from perfect. He would say things like, nobody's ever going to love you.
First of all, there is no relationship that's perfect. So I don't know why, ladies, you will never find a perfect man. Even the so-called perfect man, Prince Charming, has things that you won't like. So at some point as humans, and this goes for men too as well, it's like you'll never find a perfect woman as well. But I think more so than women, men are willing to be like, okay, she cooks, she clean, doesn't argue, looks good, that's it. But sometimes she's nagging, okay, yeah, I'll deal with it. But women, women want this. I don't know if it's the Disney's fantasy movies, the love stories, the romance we see on TV. They paint some Prince Charmings as perfect guys, but there's no one who's perfect. But I also think this comes from the fact that our parents have not done the job of teaching us about relationships, the expectations. So many of us have these high expectations because our parents didn't tell us that, hey, listen, you're never going to find someone perfect. Find someone with good character, learn how to communicate. He looks good. Okay, go with it. Most of us just go with social media. Social media has made it even 10 times worse.
The way that I love you. And I believed him. I wrestled with this internal sense of guilt. I wrestled with the guilt of honestly wanting to be free, honestly wanting to live my life and to date and to experience other men and to experience other things and other places. I just wanted to live my life. I had moved to New York from Toronto, a totally different country, with $25, 2 suitcases, and a one-way ticket. I didn't have permission from my country to leave. I didn't have permission from this country to be here. And I was making things happen for myself at a very, very rapid pace. And so to find myself inside of a relationship that felt so stifling at this very young age and not having the vocabulary to speak up for myself and articulate that somebody who loves you would not say those things to you. They wouldn't.
I mean, so a man everyone around you loved and how he was such a good guy told you that no one will ever love you the way he did. Decades later, you're 48 years old, single, never married. Maybe he was right, because clearly you have not found that good guy that everyone around you, your family loves. Maybe you should think about something like that. Because you can't say someone was loving and they told you you'll never find someone who loves you the way they did, and then you're complaining about it, yet you have nothing to show. Now, if you told me you're married, that you finally found someone who loves you, that would be a different story. But clearly you never did find that person.
Say that nobody will ever love you the way that I love you.
Yeah, because the way he loves you, he's the only one who will ever love you the way he did. Because we are different human beings. People are unique. The things you do for your man, if you have a man right now, the things you do for him, if he finds another woman, she will do those things, maybe the same things, but in a different way. She will love him differently. So he was right, but maybe you saw it in a negative way. I don't see any negativity about that. If he said you'll never find someone to ever love you again, that's one thing.
Because that indicates that there's a part of me that's broken, or there's a part of me that's unlovable.
No.
But I didn't know how to articulate this. So I stayed in this relationship that I was wildly unhappy in for approximately 3.5 years, close to four, close to four. And I have to admit, I was not faithful in this relationship. Nothing that I'm proud of, but I just chalk that up to I was really, really young and I was hood famous. I was on the covers of magazines on your local newsstand. So
So in other words, you had so many men throwing themselves at you because you're in magazines and such a beautiful young lady that you cheated on a good man. And it's not like she's taking accountability. She's saying it proudly. She didn't say she's sorry or anything like that. She cheated on a good man because she was young, famous, and beautiful. Wow.
everybody recognized me. And that was another source of pressure that I felt being inside of this relationship rather than being free to explore all of my options. And so one day I was going through some drawers, folding laundry, placing clothes, in the drawers and such. And I found it. I found a box. And when I saw it, I said, please, God, don't let this be what I think it is. And I opened the box. And there it was. It was a ring. And the only thing that I could think was that it was an engagement ring. It sure as hell was not a promise ring. We were way beyond that. We were not in high school. I was not wearing this boy's varsity jacket. This was an engagement ring.
So can you imagine the fact that I like the fact that she's, talking about this on a public platform, but she's not like sorry. You can tell she's not being sorry for the fact that she cheated on a good man, right? So in my opinion, honestly, the reason she's now 48, single, and not even ever married is because she messed up a good man. And if you guys know Anton Daniels, he has always said that most women have passed on the man they were supposed to be married to. Most women have passed on the good man they were supposed to be with long term because he's such a nice guy. And I get it. She was young, famous, beautiful, magazines, men, high status, expense, rich men throwing themselves at her. But now look, the only issue with her message right now is other young women are going to look at this and call this empowerment. And there's nothing good about cheating on a good person. That is the truth. Anyway, what do you guys think? Link down below to Melyssa Ford's channel. Peace.